of sports.
This is the Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
It won't be ever again. So we got a lot of work to do, but you're not just coming here and chalking up a win. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be disciplined. It's going to be coached well. We're going to play hard. I'm not saying we're going to win every game, but you just don't get on the plane and come to Hattiesburg anymore and expect to leave with it. It's not happening ever again as long as I'm here. Now, we may lose next week, but it won't be because we just went out there and showed up. It's going to be because they came down, they out-competed us, out-opportunityed us, but it's not the same old Southern Miss.
Coach Charles Huff talking about Southern Mississippi and its big win, its first conference win in years, in a couple of years, y'all, against Appalachian State. And he says, this is not the same old Southern Miss. Hey, y'all, welcome to the Sports Page, y'all. And we're so glad to be here. Hope you and yours are doing really well. Hope you had an awesome weekend, full football weekend. We'll talk about that. Along with us is our good friend Michael Mergens with us at nighttime. I consider it always a privilege and an honor to be with you, Michael.
Same here.
Shoot, my goodness gracious of life. And, you know, this weather forecast we've had say like it's going to be hot and dry. I'm still feeling hot and humid for some reason.
I know, but I don't mind the dry, and I hate to say it. It's selfish because I haven't mowed in like 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
So I'm taking advantage of that, not having to deal with it. I know that's selfish. And
No,
we need the rain,
no.
you know, when I look at the bright side of everything that goes on, and right now I can enjoy my weekend because my grass is brown.
It is time, y'all, for some little cooler weather. I think for all of us who love hoodies and sweatpants and things of that sort, y'all, we can start wearing this stuff in just a little bit. Not now. It has been a full high school weekend, y'all. We want to recap all the great games that were played. Picayune, number 6 in the state, beat Biloxi 23-14. Columbia over number 9 Petal 32-7. Coach Bilderback's team's good, and he's just back. This is his first year being back, and they're really, really good. Macomb over Provine 49-0. Northeast Lauderdale over Southeast Lauderdale 20-0. Boca Chica over St. Andrews 29-10. Brookhaven over Madison Central 20-17. Other scores has Collins over Mount Olive 21-8. Forest beat Perry Central 47-6. Forest County Agricultural High School beat Van Cleve 21-19. Greene County over George County, and they're right next door 29-23. Gulfport over Laurel 17-14. The surprise around the state, y'all, was Heidelberg beating Harrison Central 50-7. Y'all, Heidelberg is a 1A school. They are the defending state champions. Harrison Central is one of the biggest high schools in our state, and they scored 50 on them, 50-7. Jeff Davis County scored 50-something points. They beat Lawrence County 55-21. Lake over Leake County 20-14. Lloyd Star was over North Forest 22-12. McGee over Mize 41-36. Mendenhall over South Pike 20-12. Neshoba Central over West Lauderdale 27-20. Northeast Jones over Newton County 15-14. Oak Grove winning a big game on the road, beating Hattiesburg 48-7. PCS over Pass Christian 35-21. Pearl River Central over East Central. That score 50-21. Wow. Poplarville beat Hancock in a shootout 60-54. My goodness. Raleigh over Taylorsville 46-0. Sacred Heart over Crystal Springs 50-13. Salem over Richton 30-12. South Jones a winner over West Jones 38-35. That was a shootout. Sumrall beating Purvis 26-24. A late field goal with the clock running out was a difference in that game. Tylertown over East Marion 54-16. Union over Enterprise Clark 30-14. West Marion a winner over Lumberton 42-21. In the MAIS, Christ Covenant beating Prentice Christian 35-14. Columbia Academy, Coach Joey's team still undefeated. They beat Simpson Academy 48-14. Hartfield Academy over Pillow 42-14. Newton County Academy over Humphreys 32-28. Park Lane was a winner over Oak Forest 35-12. And 4 other games had Silver Bay scoring 60 points. They beat Kemper Academy 60-0. Wayne Academy over Winston Academy 38-13. And between games, MHSAA and the MAISA is the Heritage Academy beating Kemper County 37-27. Lamar over Caledonia 55-15. And Stringer was a winner over Park Place 44-0. So what's coming up this week, y'all? Still a lot of intriguing games as we go into week 4 of the high school football season. On Friday night, these matchups have Mid County at Mount Olive, Biloxi is at Hattiesburg, Brookhaven is at Macomb. Collins is at McGee. Columbia, undefeated, taking on Jefferson Davis County. There's going to be a lot of folk at that game, y'all. East Marion at Crystal Springs. Florence is at Mendenhall. Forest is at Northeast Lauderdale. Forest County, undefeated at 3-0, is at East Central. East Central has not won a game yet. Greene County is 3-0 at Van Cleve. Van Cleve hadn't won a game yet. Heidelberg is at Taylorsville. Kemper County is at Choctaw County. Lake is at Choctaw Central. Laurel, and it will be taking on West Harrison. West Harrison is undefeated at 3-0. Lawrence County is at Northeast Jones. Lumberton is at Weston. Meridian is at Columbus. Mize is at Raleigh this week. We can tell you that Neville, Louisiana is at Oak Grove. North Forest is at Enterprise Clark. North Pike is at West Jones. Ocean Springs at 3-0 is at Picayune, 3-0. PCS is at Seminary. Perry Central is looking for its first win. They'll be at Franklin County. Petal will be at Gulfport. You can hear that game here on SuperTalk. Philadelphia is at Bay Springs. Poplarville is at Pearl River Central. Pearl River Central, y'all, is 3-0. Quitman is at South Jones. South Jones is 3-0. Richardson is at St. Patrick. Sacred Heart is at Resurrection. Salem is at Stringer. Scott Central is at Newton County. Sebastopol is at Clarkdale. Southeast Lauderdale is at Newton. Sumrall undefeated at 3-0 is at West Marion. Tylertown is at Harrison Central. Wayne County looking for its first win. They'll be at George County. George County looking for its first win. Central Holmes is at Newton County Academy. Columbia Academy, everybody will be at Oak Forest. East Rankin is at Lamar School. Marvel of Arkansas will be at Kemper Academy. Prentice Christian is at Heritage Christian. Simpson Academy at Wayne Academy. Silver Bay is at Benton Academy. South Pike is at Greenville Christian. Those are the games, y'all, slated for this Thursday and Friday coming up. And, of course, Southern Mississippi with a big win beating Appalachian State 38-22. And, y'all, it was just a huge win, big conference win, first one in almost 3 years. And Coach Huff had these words to say, his opening news conference, and talking about the significance of the win and what he thought about his football team after playing Game 3 at the Rock, and how important was that win. So here's Coach Huff and his words after the game between Southern Mississippi and Appalachian State.
Ready? Am I ready?
Coach, go ahead.
Awesome job by our players tonight. Really proud of the way they competed. Really proud of their competitive spirit. More proud of their preparation throughout the week to get ready for this game. It showed up on the field. Still a lot of things to clean up. Hats off to App State. They're a challenging group. Did some things that really stressed us. But we'll celebrate tonight. It's a great locker room in there right now if you guys could be in there. Really proud of the guys. Got to enjoy it tonight and get ready for next week.
Coach, the first thing I wanted to ask, too, is the start of the game. They sort of drove down on you guys. Obviously, with the turnover, both the exceptional turnovers you guys had. But what's the effort that you guys were talking about at halftime or after the game, things you have to work on, at least to let them get down to that level of the field?
Well, I mean, if every team goes down there and we get a 99-yard touchdown, we should probably start practicing that. But offense, indeed, they're good offense. I know everybody wants us to, stop them every play. They're good offense. So we talk about on defense suffering well, right? You respond. You got to come up with an opportunistic moment, when you get an opportunity. When I was at Penn State, one of the things that they always used to say, run to the ball, Franco. That was Joe Paterno's big. You always coach your defense players to run to the ball. because when you run to the ball, good things happen. That's something that I've always carried with me. That's what Ian Foster did. You run to the ball. But obviously, when they come out on that first drive, they've got openers, right? They've got things that they plan to attack our defense with. We have to be able to adjust. We went right down the field on them, too. I guess it went both ways. But obviously, there's things we can improve on. You got to tackle in space. And there's some things that we do defensively not to give up an 80-yard play. You got to kind of make some decisions. You want a 7-yard play or an 80-yard play? You know, we can sell out to stop one thing, but then expose ourselves to some other things. So we try to get a feel in the first drive or two of what the teams are going to do, and then we settle in. I still think we can tackle a little bit better in open field. They got a good running back. He was number 2 in the country rushing. You guys told me. So yeah, he should have a lot of yards. I don't know what he had today, but so you got to make some decisions.
Coach Charles Huff talking about his team's win over Appalachian State. Boy, y'all, the boys played their hearts out, and it was a big win, a significant win. I think we'll look back at this win in the months to come. When we come back, we'll talk about what's going on at Jones, and we'll hear more from Coach Huff before the sports page is over with. Well, we got to go to the break. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Hey, welcome back to SuperTalk, Mississippi, y'all. My goodness, Southern Mississippi takes on La Tech, y'all. It's the first road game for the Eagles. They'll be on the road to take on Louisiana Tech. You can see that game on ESPN Plus if you have the package, and going to be good. We'll give you some more information about what's happening around the state in just a little bit. But with us right now is our good friend Sean Wansley, the sports information director at Jones College. And, Sean, y'all had the game of the week this past week between Jones and Gulf Coast. Give us an update, the lowdown, all of that, and tell us what's happening on campus.
Yeah, it was quite an exciting game last Thursday night between Jones and Gulf Coast. The Bulldogs ended up pulling the game out 28-24. Jones spotted them. We spotted them 7 points early in the game. They got a pick 6 on us, but then we really settled down and played well the rest of the first half. And the Bobcats led at 21-14 at the half. But then Gulf Coast, first drive of the third quarter, had a 75-yard, 15-play drive, took 6 minutes off the clock, tied the game at 21. The Bobcats got a field goal to go ahead, 24-21. But then Gulf Coast throws a long touchdown pass late in the third quarter to go up 28-24. And that was pretty much it. We couldn't get it past midfield there in the fourth quarter, and no points were scored in the fourth quarter, and Gulf Coast ends up winning the game 28-24. And they are now 3-0, 1-0 in the division. And Gulf Coast moved up to number 5 in the nation in the latest poll today.
Wow.
And the Bobcats fall to 2-1, 0-1 in the conference. They got a huge game this week, Jones at Colin. That's a Thursday night, 6:30 game. And Colin is also looking for their first division win. They were upset by Hines last week, 31-29. So it's going to be a huge game over at Weston Thursday night, and Coach Pollard's team has to bounce back because can't afford to get 2 losses in the division, that's for sure.
That's so much parity. My goodness, you're exactly right. You can't make – oh, my goodness. And I was looking at some of those scores. I mean, what you just talked about, South to West, and, and it's just different. I mean, it's just different, and then it's the same as well. So football in the books, and, you got the division games now being really important. But what else is happening on campus, I guess, including soccer?
Well, soccer, we begin conference play this week. Our women's team is 3-1-1 on the year. They lost to Pensacola 2-1 last week in their only match. They are ranked number 9 in the latest poll that came out today. Our men's team, they're having a solid season as well. They've won 5 in a row. The Bobcats are 5-2 on the men's side and ranked number 12 in the nation. Had a big win over number 13 Gulf Coast, 3-1 last week. and they beat Northeast Alabama 8-1. In a big game tomorrow night, as I say, we open up conference play. The women's game versus Hines at 5:45 p.m., followed by the men's game at 8. And the Hines men are currently 6-0 overall and ranked number 10 in the nation. So that's going to be a huge game between the Bobcats and the Eagles on the men's side and the women's side as well. I think Hines is having a good year on the women's side. But it's the conference opener. He really want to get off to a good start, especially at home. And the only other match this week, Jones, will be at Itawamba on Friday. The women's game starting at 2, followed by the men's 4. We got volleyball going on.
Yeah.
In fact, we just ended a match here just as I came on the air. The Bobcat women's volleyball team defeated Itawamba in 3 sets, 25-20, 25-19, and 25-16. The Bobcats are now 8-0 overall, 5-0 in conference play.
Wow.
They're having a great year, and they beat Northeast and East Central last week. They're the only undefeated team in the state of Mississippi right now, and in conference play, they're 5-0. This week, they will play at Meridian on Wednesday. They go to Mobile to play Bishop State on Thursday. The next Monday here, A.B. Howard Gymnasium at 5 o'clock, a huge, huge match. Jones will play Northwest, and Northwest is also undefeated in the conference going into tonight. So you could have a matchup between the only 2 conference unbeatens next Monday night here in Ellisville between Jones and Northwest. So volleyball having a great year under Coach John Dusoy. They won the region last year in their first year of play, so off to another outstanding start this year. A couple of more notes. I know fall baseball, they're having a couple of games here on campus Thursday. Jones will host Gulf Coast at 10 a.m. Thursday, and they will also host Reed State at 5 p.m. Thursday. So a little fall baseball for you if you want to show up at Community Bank Park. They have their fall league also that begins in October. On the softball front, same thing. They got fall league action starting in October. And the baseball softball teams are combining for their golf tournament fundraiser. That will be this Friday at Dixie Golf Club in Laurel. I know they have at least 26 teams signed up. They've got a really large field to participate in that tournament. They tee off at, I believe, 8:30 a.m. Friday morning. So baseball, softball, getting some fall action in, and fundraiser as well. On the tennis front, Coach Brooks Buffington, some of his players will be going to New Albany, Mississippi for a fall individual invitational tournament this weekend. And then next week they get ready for the annual ITA Fall JUCO Southern Championships. That'll be September the 24th through the 27th down at Gulf Coast. On the golf front, Coach Bob Harrington and the Bobcats return to the links next week. They'll be up in Corinth September the 22nd and 23rd at Shiloh Ridge for a big tournament there. So all kind of stuff going on right now here in Ellisville with Bobcat Athletics.
Y'all listen to Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones College, and he's talking about all the things happening on campus, and he's right at a volleyball match. And Sean, tell everybody about the growth of volleyball at on the community college level, because, it looks like, when you hear crowds are getting bigger and bigger to support community college volleyball.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Had a good crowd today for this match against Itawamba. I believe we have 9 teams playing in Mississippi right now, 9 teams out of the MACCC, and I believe that's going to go up to 11 or 12 next year, I believe. It just continues to grow. Of course, it got very popular, very big in our local high schools here in the last several years, and it's just natural that would follow along on the junior college level, and that's exactly what's happening. It's getting bigger and better. There's just continued to have outstanding crowds come out and watch our young ladies play and have a very good team. We did well last year, doing well this year. The goal is to win that region and hopefully get a good matchup. I know last year we had to go play a team in Alabama, and that's probably what's going to happen again this year. Whoever wins our region, I think, has to cross with Alabama. And you win that match, and you go to the national tournament in Iowa. So that's quite a goal for this team to have. So we'll see what happens.
So, Sean, how can everybody keep up with the Bobcats and everything that's going on over yonder?
Yeah, go to our main site, jcbobcats.com. We've got schedules, scores, rosters, stories, everything you want to know about Bobcat Athletics is at jcbobcats.com. You can also go to X, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram and search Jones College Athletics for up-to-date information about our athletic teams here at Jones. And on Thursday night, I should say, Jones at Colin in football. Colin fell to number 14 in the nation in the latest poll. And that game is a 6:30 kickoff on Thursday. And fans can tune in to jcbobcats.com/watch in order to keep up with the Bobcats and the Wolves next week, or this week, I should say. That should be a really good game. And like I say, it's very, very important. You can't afford to lose 2 games in division play to start the year.
Well, thank you, Sean. Hope to talk to you, my friend. Same time, same place next week, okay?
All right, Mitch, I appreciate it.
Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones College. Some other nuggets, y'all. The Defensive Player of the Week in the Sun Belt is Ian Foster. Ian brought an interception back some 99 yards, and he had tackles all everywhere. Leading the Sun Belt in tackles is Chris Jones, the sophomore linebacker. He leads the whole Sun Belt in total tackles. He's number 11th in the whole country in total tackles as the Eagles are 2-1 and head toward Louisiana Tech and Ruston to play them next week. Let's hear more from Coach Huff. We'll hear more from Coach Huff in just a little bit. But first, we want to tell you that when we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Christy Meeks at Pearl River. Sean alluded to it just a little bit ago. The spring sports get better. They start winning games, not in the spring, but how they prepare in the fall. We'll talk about that and more when the sports page continues when we come back.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
I mean, knowing the guys in the locker room, man, I think they're going to respond by just working. I mean, that's how we've gotten to the point that we've gotten to in our career here in Kansas City, is that we believe the work kind of puts out the product. And so obviously we've never been 0-2, but we've had times where we've dealt with challenges before and lost games. And so I think the guys that we have in this locker room, they'll go back to work with that mindset of we're going to continue to work even harder so that when we step on that field this next time, we can find a way to win in those big moments like we have at this first 2 weeks.
Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of this generation, and leading Kansas City to, I think, 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, but starting out at 0-2. And I think for those who, may doubt the Chiefs, of course, some of us who are Chiefs fans, we don't doubt them, but, we knew it's one of the toughest schedules, and the NFL is crazy. 2 NFL games are tonight, y'all, so we've had all of that. Of course, we've had NFL stuff, a lot of college football going on, but, hey, y'all, when you don't play in the fall, you prepare in the fall, and when you prepare in the fall, that means that your season is usually in the spring. And especially if you've been good in the spring, you've really had a really good fall. What you talking about? Well, I'm talking about, y'all, softball. And one of the nation's best softball programs is at Pearl River Community College. And with us is Coach Christy Meeks. Well, we were with Coach Christy Meeks, and we'll get with her in just a second. But speaking of the fall, we will tell you that we do have a lot of games in our area. The home games this weekend will be at Mount Olive, at Hattiesburg, at Macomb, at McGee, at Jeff Davis County, at Mendenhall, at Northeast Lauderdale, at Taylorsville, at Northeast Jones, at Weston, at Raleigh, at Oak Grove, at Enterprise Clark, at West Jones, at Picayune, at Seminary, and at Bay Springs, at Pearl River Central, at South Jones, at Stringer, at Clarkdale, and at Newton County, at Newton, at West Marion, at George County. And these are the home games. Newton County Academy and will be the games played at home along with Lamar and Kemper Academy and Wayne Academy. These are some of the games that we play at home during this coming Friday, y'all. We blink. You know how football season is. Y'all, we're already in week 4. But as we said before, football, soccer, and volleyball play in the fall, but there are other sports that prepare in the fall. With us right now is the head softball coach over there at Pearl River Community College, our good friend, Coach Christy Meeks. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing really, really good. You got a nationally ranked, one of the best programs in the country, and y'all win in the spring, so you got to be doing something really great in the fall. Tell us a little bit about what are your team and your leaders doing to get ready for hopefully another outstanding year this year.
Yes, sir. So we actually have a short fall season. So we go and we play 4-year schools. We'll play some junior colleges, and just taking the opportunity to get better, to see the best. We go to a couple of really great Division II programs. We'll go to a couple of really great Division I programs, and we're excited about what this fall has in store, but mostly just trying to dig into growth and building leaders and building great people.
Well, talk a little bit about what do you look for, and playing during the fall and all these, and then I would imagine some of it is too getting a picture of what your new players can do, and then also building some relationship and culture. Correct?
Yeah, for sure. Culture's the biggest part, right? We've talked about that so much, but this fall, we have so many great things here at Pearl River. We actually have a ropes course here on campus, and to be able to do some team building stuff, some team bonding, to see what players shine in really tough moments and see what players can handle, the pressure and what's put on top of you. And then also just to help these sophomores get to another level with that. So I think it's really cool. And the freshmen that are coming in right now, being able to push each other and our sophomores pushing them and leading and guiding, it's neat to see the growth that has happened over the last 5 years and to watch this group come in and just flourish.
Is this year 7 for you or year 6?
This is year 6. Yes, sir.
Going into year 6. And so are you ahead of schedule, Coach? Where are you as it relates to division or the right division, make it plain, so to speak? Where are you in terms of when you look at your program where you want to be after 5 years going into year 6?
There's always areas that I see that we have to grow in, and we have to get better in, and we have to continue to get better in. We're not just here to be in the top. We are here to be the top, and that's something that starts at the top of Pearl River Community College with Dr. Burwood, and I think that there's so many different areas of growth, but as of right now, every team is different when you bring different teams in. But I think we have some great leadership that's emerging. I think we have some great people around us, and that just makes the job so much more fun. When you're around people that you enjoy to be around every single day, it helps.
I can't imagine. Absolutely, in terms of building a culture, but also too, I guess you get a chance to kind of go visit, right? You go recruit and that. How is that going with the growth of softball and also, too, them knowing the kind of program that you got?
Yeah, that is fun. It's so much fun, to watch our girls compete against Division I program teams who are, 20, 23 years old, and we're freshmen and sophomores. They're juniors and seniors, a lot of them. And to watch them compete against that caliber of the game, I think it's neat. It takes us to a different caliber. It takes us to a place that we never thought that we could be. It shows the girls where they need to get to, how fast the game can be. Being a step ahead is so important. So to have the opportunity to go and play some of these schools, it is just a blessing to me. And to talk with them, like, hey, what do you see? What do we need to grow in and grow upon? Because their outlook on the game is very different than ours at this level. And the numbers, the stuff that they put in analytically, and then the stuff that we put in grit and grinding wise, like to merge those two things and kind of see how that comes to play.
Y'all are listening to Coach Christy Meeks, the head softball coach at Pearl River Community College, and we're talking softball and getting ready for, I am sure, if history has its place, a really awesome season. And Coach, I haven't talked to you since the summer. How was summer camps and bringing in young people and all of those wonderful parents on campus with those facilities? How did that go, and what kind of fruit do you think you're going to get out of that?
Wow, with you asked me, this is year 6, and coming from where it came from to where we are right now, man, we are so blessed. God has just really, really blessed us this year, putting in the work in recruiting this summer. We had a prospect camp here, and we had over 80 kids that showed up and wanted to be a part of Pearl River softball, and I could not be more blessed to say that and just to continue our program to flourish. Not every year is going to be the perfect year, the best, or all of these things, but just to continue to bring in great people and to have people who want to be here that are just unbelievable themselves. They have so many other opportunities, and they want to be at Pearl River Community College, and how cool that is, because we are a family. We want to be a family. Our girls right now, we're watching our women's volleyball team play a conference game, and just small things that happen like that build this culture, build the team, and we invest more in just, I want you to be a great player, phenomenal player, but I also want you to be a great person, and taking that into consideration is huge.
Coach Meeks, I wanted to ask you this while I have you. I mean, I know with the growth of women in sports, not only here but around the country, not only community college level, but in so many levels. But from your vantage point as a coach and seeing these young women on and off the field, what are some of the challenges you're seeing that they experience in this world where there's so many eyes on them and they're trying to balance that time of class and relationships and athletics and all these different things, not with the backdrop of all the social media stuff? What are you seeing some of these a lot of our female student athletes having to deal with as you coach, and now going into 6 years as a head coach, but also the numbers of years when you were an assistant at Gulf Coast? What do you see?
The biggest thing that I have seen is time management. And trying to figure out what that looks like for each individual person. Everyone is different. God created everyone so different. And I think that it's okay to be that different than somebody else, where one person may need 30 minutes a day to themselves. Another player is going to want to be around somebody 100% of the time because that's all they know. That's what they're used to. I think that the one thing that when the girls come in here, they don't know that about themselves yet. That's what they're trying to figure out. And so to figure out what time management looks like for them and to put that into action is always the hardest part, because they feel like, oh, well, I'm going to college. I have some time. I have some free time. I can just do whatever I want to. Well, when you're an elite athlete, you cannot do whatever you want to do, especially if you want to be an elite athlete. Now, if you want to be just a mediocre athlete, sure, you can do whatever you want to, but an elite athlete takes care of their body. They eat the right things. They're prepping themselves for the next day. They're working on their mental game. You know, it's not just in that moment. It's 2 or 3 steps ahead. So if you're trying to be an elite athlete, there's so much more that goes into that you have to put into your mind and body. I'll tell you this.
Coach,
social media is tough. It's tough. And
it is.
To be a great person.
I'm against the heartbreak. I want you to talk a little bit about that on the other side. Can you hold on for a couple of minutes? I want to ask you about the social media influence for a minute, and then we'll wrap up this session. Thank you so much for being so open to answer that, because Coach knows, y'all. Coach influences more people in 1 year than most of us in a lifetime, and we're talking to a championship coach with Coach Meeks. We'll have her back for just a few minutes when we come back. Hold on, Coach. Don't move.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 Super Talk, Mississippi.
Hey, Crusader Talk is at the top of the hour, y'all. We're with Pearl Rivers softball coach, Coach Christy Meeks, and my goodness, and we're talking about the role of social media on the student athletes, and especially, particularly young females. And y'all, we see it a lot. My goodness, we see it a lot. And then, but I don't think anybody sees all the different things and all the elements, and like coaches do. And with Coach Meeks, she's just seen it a lot. Of course, she's seen it and experienced it when she goes to a home to recruit a young lady, camps, and even from the young ladies that she sees on campus. And we had to go on a hard break, and we were talking about social media a little bit. So, Coach, expound on that for a second, if you would.
You know, one thing that I see in social media is that it pumps the all about me mentality, right? Like, I am doing great in the world today, or I've had a great day, or everything's going my way. And when our girls see that, and they see, like, no matter what, any player, when they see, like, oh man, this player went 4 for 4, and then this player went 3 for 4, and they see all the positive stuff, because you're not going to put anything negative out on social media.
Right.
You know, you're only going to put the good things. They think that that's now the expectation, when 4 for 4 is a goal. That's not an expectation. You know, expectation is coming every day with your great attitude. It's putting forth the effort and the work, and like grinding that out. That's an expectation, where going 4 for 4 is just a goal, you know, and they don't know how to separate those things. And so, you know, the Bible doesn't tell us that it's all about me.
Right.
It's not. Like, we're a servant, and we have that servant mentality. So to keep their mind right when everything that they see all day long is all about me, when we play a sport that's all about team. And that's definitely something that I see with this social media, different type of group setting that we all fall into all of the time. I pray every day that we grasp a hold of the fact that it's not about us. It's about spreading that word of Christ, and about showing the ability that he gave us in everything that we do.
Coach, in 30 seconds, can you, just for all the parents that are listening, what are some quick tidbits that you could tell a parent that's raising a young daughter, or has a granddaughter that's participating in sports or in extracurricular things like band and some other, maybe in some great clubs and things, but they're getting this circle of attention, or maybe thinking that they need to be affirmed through that attention? What are some things that you think would be helpful from a parental standpoint?
Yeah, just keeping the main thing the main thing. You know, the main thing is not always about what we do great or bad, or have, you know, a phenomenal performance or whatever. The main thing is shining the talent that we were given with every ounce of effort that we have. And it's just having that passion for something that's greater than yourself.
Wow, that's powerful. Coach, thank you so much. I mean, maybe one of these days I'll get an hour and we're just going to talk a lot about this kind of stuff because I think a lot of folks need to hear it. We talk about balls and strikes and scoreboards and records and rankings and things of that sort, but I think when you hear from a coach who is a parent that knows these things and sees these things, I think it's so helpful and it's really good food. Thank you so much. And, Coach, let's talk again soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Roll, River, roll.
Coach Christy Meeks, y'all, the head softball coach at Pearl River and fall ball and doing some great things. Man, Michael, that was good. That was just good, man. That was that's good.
And it's truth because athletes tend to wear their heart on their sleeves more around their coaches than they do their own parents.
Right.
And you know that. That's the benefit of FCA and its position within our schools and what these coaches are doing. And it would probably shock a lot of parents if they realized exactly what's
absolutely.
Because like she said, it's that all about me mentality and everything's great and good on social media. And these kids just get into this bubble of that's reality.
Right.
And they start to play it in front of their parents. So the parents think, oh, everything's fine because they're acting fine, not realizing what's actually going on internally. And
there's something going on around. Yeah. And it's crazy. And so, y'all, I hope y'all heed to what Coach is saying, and then too, just little bitty things. If you see some hints or things, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the parent. You can be the aunt, you can be the uncle, you can be the cousin. If you see a little something, because our little girls they're so talented and they're so gifted and so smart, but there are oftentimes forces out there unbeknown to them and that are around them, but also too the enemy from within. Trying to work and trying to take them off and give them a detour to a different kind of narrative. And now in a day where they got more opportunities than ever before. Man, there's junior college beginning volleyball, and I mean, it's just awesome, the opportunities they have. So that's just me talking as someone who is around it and sees it and has his heart broken a number of times when we see one who has so much gifting and don't get a chance to change the world. From all of us to all of you, we hope that you have an awesome and incredible week. SuperTalk has Crusader Talk at 97.3 and SuperTalkHattiesburg.com. We want to talk to you same time, same place next week. Take care, everybody. God bless.